What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. What's up, Patrick? What's up, Sky? Alright, we'll give them another minute and we'll get started. They'll come in when they come in. Alright, let's begin. Now, today I have a special lecture for y'all. It revolves around my boy Kashan B. Allah's, the FOA, Fighting of Allah, Nation of Gods and Earth, Defense for Knowing Self book. A study and history of the Black God's 120 styles of the martial arts. The supreme book in self-defense. That's what this revolves around today. You see what I'm saying? This is what we're going to get into. But first, before we get into that, I got some messages for y'all from the great Clarence 13X and Malcolm X, the master and apprentice. So, we'll do Malcolm first, since he came first. You see what I'm saying? Let's see here. A message from Malcolm X. Let us begin. Take a breath. Let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. The revolution is no longer physical, but it is now soulful. This is officially a war of souls that these archons are trying to stop you from ascending to your highest heights. It's disgraceful. You have the power to transform this realm to something new, if you so choose. So don't be afraid of this false system, because no, the Martian tribe of Shabazz will always have your back. But you have to want change. And most importantly, you have to be the change. You want to, let's see here. You have to be the change that you want to see. You see what I'm saying? You have to be the change you want to see. So go and become the new Anunnaki gods you are destined to be. Sincerely, Mr. Shabazz X. I'm going to read it one more time. Let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. The revolution is no longer physical, but it is now soulful. This is officially a war of souls that these archons are trying to stop you from ascending to your highest heights. It's disgraceful. You have the power to transform this realm into something new, if you so choose. So don't be afraid of this false system, because know that the Martian tribe of Shabazz will always have your back. But you have to want change. And most important, you have to be the change you want to see. So go and become the new Anunnaki gods you are destined to be. Sincerely, Mr. Shabazz X. So yes, as you can see, Malcolm X came through recently. And y'all know I always put my channels in the form of letters. You see what I'm saying? Letters to the nations. You see what I'm saying? Letting y'all know what it is. Yes. Brother Malcolm came through with the sciences. You see what I'm saying? To remember who you are. To remember, to tell you that you're on the verge of doing something great. You're on the verge of performing an alchemy that's never been seen or done before. You see what I'm saying? So don't let these mofos out here detour you from your divine inheritance that is on the way. You see what I'm saying? You almost at the promised land now. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared. You doing all right. That's what they saying. That's what the Martian masters, that's what the Martian masters of the tribe of Shabazz is trying to tell us here. You see what I'm saying? They came here. They manifested the Nation of Islam, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Fard Muhammad, and they will go on to do great works with this. The Supreme 120 Lessons. You see what I'm saying? The Supreme 120 Lessons. And that image up there is an image of your soul. You see what I'm saying? The circle and the square. The square is just your physical body. You see what I'm saying? So the knowledge is within you. It also can represent the pineal gland in your mind. You see what I'm saying? When it's fully activated, that divine spark that lives within the darkness of your melanin. You see what I'm saying? So this is what they came to give you. They came to give you this information. What the 120 lessons secretly represent? They secretly represent the 120-year alchemy that it was going to take to cause great change on this planet. From 1900 to 2020. Interesting, right? From 1900 to 2020. You see what I'm saying? That's when the gateways open. That's when the new portals start coming down in 1900. And it was going to be a 120-year alchemy before everything was set up and completed. I find it funny. There's a lot of shit happening now. We on the verge of 2020 officially, because the New Year's don't officially start over here, you know, until March 20th. See what I'm saying? It started over there in the East because they 2 seasons ahead of us. You see what I'm saying? So when it's fall over here, then it's spring over there. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the Ethiopian calendar is ahead of us. Their fall is New Year's over there because they're 2 seasons ahead of us. 2 seasons ahead of us. But their fall is our spring. So now we're coming into 2020 over here, and then the whole planet will be in 2020. And that will mark the 120-year prophecy of this. The supreme lessons. You see what I'm saying? The supreme 120 lessons. So that's what the secrets of this is. The 120. 120, 1 plus 2 equals what? 3. 3 is the message. 3 is the number of your higher self. 3 is the number of the 3 magi in your mind. The pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and what? The hypothalamus gland. You see what I'm saying? So 3 is the number. You see what I'm saying? Of your high self. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The Holy Trinity. The All Father, the All Mother, and the All Child. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So this was going on here. This was going on. 120-year alchemy. That's what this was all about. The Supreme 120. And that's what Fard Muhammad, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Malcolm X, even the Black Panther Party with Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. Then on to the New Wabians with Dr. York and his team. Then on to the Metaphysicians with Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, Miss Blue, on up to Brother Panic. And then you had the other ladies of the house like Maya Angelou and various other ladies who was about this life. You see what I'm saying? Who's about this life here, this 120-year alchemy that took place. This 120-year alchemy that took place. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Devin? What's up, Terrence? So that's what you got going on here. Don't get it twisted. This means something. 120 means something. They mapped it expertly. You see what I'm saying? 120 lessons. A lesson for each year during this 120-year cycle. So if we match that up, you see what I'm saying? And you look at the 120 lessons. Let's see here. Did they put the table of contents? Yes. If you match it up, then we on the final lesson, the final year. If you match it up properly. You see what I'm saying? We on the final lesson. And the final lesson is what? Judgment. You see what I'm saying? The judgment. And we'll be completed this. We'll be completed this cycle. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like in the great words of Fard Muhammad, I can sit on top of the world and tell anyone that the most beautiful nation in the wilderness of that the most beautiful nation is in the wilderness of North America. What they mean by the wilderness? You know, a lot of people ask me that. Why they used to say the wilderness of North America? The wilderness, or of course the jungle, represents the lab that this alchemy is being produced in. You see what I'm saying? The metaphysical lab that this alchemy is being produced in. And where's the alchemy being produced in? Yourself, your internal cells. You see what I'm saying? It took 120 years. The UNIA, the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, the New Wabians, our metaphysical brethren and sistren. You see what I'm saying? The metaphysicians. On up to now, which is us, the starseeds, and everybody who played a role. Everybody has played a role over the past 120 years to produce this alchemy, this internal alchemy over here. So that's what the wilderness of America means. It just means the metaphysical lab of America, where the alchemical processes and distillations and fucking formulas are being made, because we on the root chakra. So everything had to come back to the root force. That root energy, the color red, not the color purple right now, the color red, to come back to this shit. All spiritual signs had to come over here, be put in a pot. You see what I'm saying? Gnosticism teachings. Who else I'm missing? Who else? The shamanic teachings. The indigenous teachings of our Australian brothers, the indigenous dreaming teachings. You see what I'm saying? So everybody, all that had to come over here. All that had to come over here and be put in a pot and just mixed up. You see what I'm saying? Even our Arctic brethren out there, they got their own signs up there in the Arctic. You see what I'm saying? The Netherlands, the Canadians, Greenland, Iceland. You see what I'm saying? They got their own indigenous sciences up there as well. They don't get a lot of love because, you know, what's up, Tion, baby? They don't get a lot of love because, you know, they up there up high. You see what I'm saying? So we don't pay attention to them as much. They got their own indigenous signs, like the goddess Pinga, the goddess of hunting. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we talking about. This 120-year alchemy that was produced. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is not by mistake. Everybody had a role to play. I can even give you the elements. Marcus Garvey was Earth because the UNIA was all about what? Getting your physical reality, the economics, getting your physical self together. You see what I'm saying? Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America was about what? That was the air element, getting your social self together. You see what I'm saying? Knowing the universal laws and how they operate, the hermetic laws and how they operate. You see what I'm saying? And knowing that you are your own indigenous being and you have a right to be here. That's the air element. Then you got Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Fard Muhammad, who came with the fire. You see what I'm saying? That the Nation of Islam represent fire, the militarism. You see what I'm saying? The military teachings, the martial sciences, the military sciences, the war god energy and war goddess energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here with this particular group. Then you get cause you Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, and the Black Panther Party kind of all one single entity. You kind of mix them all in. They all in the fire element. Then you get what? The New Wabians. Who the New Wabians represent? They represent water. Cause why? Dr. York always talk about water. We fluid. We always changing. We always transforming. What the New Wabians did, they always shifted from one science to the next. One science to the next to drop as much information as they could in each paradigm. You see what I'm saying? That was their goal. Cause they dealt with the element of water. You see what I'm saying? So next you get the fifth element, which are the metaphysicians, ether, the force, the soul. You see what I'm saying? The soul force, the life forces of existence. You see what I'm saying? The force. So the metaphysicians came with what? The occult sciences, the chi arts, the psi arts. You see what I'm saying? And magic and the magical arts and so on and so forth. They gave you that because now you gotta get your spirits right. You see what I'm saying? You gotta get your spirits right. You gotta get your soul right. You got now the awakening is happening within. And so that's what all these particular people or beings in these particular paradigms, that's what they was doing. They was producing this alchemy. Now, us, the last day Jedi, you know, the Jedi of the last days, who are finishing this up, wrapping up this revelation. You see what I'm saying? This divine revelations. We are wrapping this up as the order of starseeds of the time. We getting this together now. We wrapping it up. We got one more year. 2020 gonna be something else. You see what I'm saying? Your head is already something else, and we only half the planet is in 2020. Y'all know that, right? Only half the planet is in 2020. We don't hit 2020 to March 20th. But the other half of the planet, the Eastern Hemisphere, is in fucking 2020. Look at all shit that's going on over there. So be ready. It's coming over here next once we activate. You see what I'm saying? On March 20th, the spring equinox and beyond. You see what I'm saying? So next, now we go to the apprentice, the direct apprentice of Malcolm X. A message from Clarence 13X, aka Father Allah, aka Musta Kanoon, the Weaver. You see what I'm saying? So, let me tell you what he said. I am the father of the 5% nation of God's and earth. I would like to speak to you about the fine art of twining, which just means to weave or put together. You see what I'm saying? To weave or put it all together, right? I created the twine style to show that everything is a supreme math problem that needs to be solved. I left the Nation of Islam because they became too strict with the teachings. So I opted my people to focus on the more freestyle side of the martial arts, and I foreseen the coming of a great family our own, which would go on to be called the 52 Blocks / Jailhouse Rock. You see what I'm saying? Also known as the twine style martial arts. So listen up, my people. Allah is not the way. Your soul is the way. And the truth of the matter is, and that is the only truth that matters down here. So go forth and spread the truth teachings of martial arts, which is learn to box with your soul by learning to fight from within. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna read it one more time. You see what I'm saying? A message from Clarence 13X, also known as Father Allah. I am the father of the 5% nations of God's and earth. I would like to speak to you about the fine art of twining, which means to weave together or put it all together. I created the twine style to show that everything is a supreme math problem that needs to be solved. I left the Nation of Islam because they became too strict with the teachings. So I opted my people to focus on the more freestyle side of the martial arts, as I foreseen the coming of a great family-based martial art we could call our own, which will go on to be called the 52 Blocks / Jailhouse Rock, also known as the twine style. You see what I'm saying? So listen up, my people. Allah is not the way. Your soul is the way. And the only truth that matters down here. So go forth and spread the truth teachings of martial arts, which is learn to box with your soul by learning to fight from within. Sincerely, the Twine Master. Peace 7. So that's my message from Clarence 13X when I channeled him yesterday. You see what I'm saying? When I was writing out this lecture, and he told him and Malcolm X came through together, and they told him like, nah, you need to let them know what it is now. We on the horizon now of a new age. So it's time to drop their signs. You see what I'm saying? And if y'all ain't never seen, of course I know y'all seen Malcolm X. Of course, this Malcolm X right here. Just want to put him on camera. See what I'm saying? So y'all can see him. And this is Clarence 13X to the right here. You see what I'm saying? That's Clarence 13X. The person you seen next to him was his apprentice, Justice. One of his main apprentices. You see what I'm saying? When they were starting the 5% Nation, which is more of a freestyle based organization that spawned out of the Nation of Islam. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. That's what's going on with these beings. They came here to remind you, like, nah, all we've been doing is solving the math equation. Well, what's the math problem? How do we master this, the 120 supreme lessons? Well, the math problem is, or the finale is, each year for the last 120 years has been a supreme lesson. Yep. Now we hitting 2020. What's the supreme lesson? Final judgment. Yep. 2020 is the final lesson, supreme judgment. So now you about to see, or final judgment. Now you about to see the transformation of the world at an accelerated rate from 2020 on. Once Mars 20 will get here and that Area 5 start burning this shit up, you're going to see what I mean. You see what I'm saying? Like I've been telling y'all. Now y'all seeing what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So everybody been getting y'all minute energies or checkpoints. I told y'all like it is. The day that this shit combusts will be March 20th on down. You see what I'm saying? So definitely. Now, how about we get into boy Kashan B. Allah. Who is Kashan B. Allah? He's a master martial artist that I think still lives out in New York to this day. Who put together this 120 styles. Him and many other martial artists and FOA members put together this 120 style system. See what I'm saying? And they spent the last, since this, you know, the FOI, the Fruits of Islam, is one. You see what I'm saying? The Fruits of Islam is the original organization in Nation of Islam. And then you got the MGT, which is I think that's called, let me see here. Don't want to get wrong, especially since I got the information right here in my face. You see what I'm saying? But I think it's military girl training, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it's military girl training. So definitely. If I can't find it. So definitely military girl training. So y'all probably seen a little scene on video with the sisters marching in the MGT. You getting it? That's military. That's the MGT, military girl training, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go. The FOA is the 5% version of that. You see what I'm saying? The Fighters of Allah. Now, what is they about? You see what I'm saying? What is they about? Let's find out. You know, it's gonna be a lot of reading from the book because it's right here in my face. You see what I'm saying? No reason to ignore direct information. You see what I'm saying? When it's right here. The FOA is defined as the fruit of Allah. Another name for him. And then they're going to say, as a fruit does not fall from its tree, the tree is known by the fruit that it bears. You see what I'm saying? So this acronym or term FOA originated with the Father Allah and the warrior black gods called the Sons of Almighty God. Allah, aka blood brother / pre-existing 5%. The FOA is the martial arts training they receive to assist them in securing and protecting their communities and New Youth Nation. History recalls its growth began in 1963. However, the martial arts training was not actually called the FOA. Nevertheless, the FOA emerged and captured the hearts and conducts of youths that first initiated the training and idea. Therefore, in order to correctly understand why certain blacks call it the FOA, we must first research and study and sequence the period in which the FOA was formulated. And that's what he goes into what was going on with the 60s and the emergence of black consciousness and the turmoil in the country. You see what I'm saying? Malcolm once said, we don't preach hatred and violence, but we believe that if a 4-legged or 2-legged dog attacks a Negro, he should be killed. We only believe in defending ourselves against attack. You see what I'm saying? So these brothers was marshals. These sisters was marshals. Don't get it wrong. The ladies was in that motherfucker getting it in too. No, don't get it twisted. They whoop your ass just as fast as the homies would. You see what I'm saying? So what's going on here? What's going on here? It's the 60s. All hell breaking loose. The new children have hit the block. You know, the Blu-rays from the end of the Civil War, the Blu-ray children on up to the 50s were the ones who set the foundation for the most part. You see what I'm saying? Those were the Blu-ray children. From the end of the Civil War on down to the 1950s were the Blu-ray children. Well, in the 1960s, that's when the flower children, the second generation of, or also known as the freedom fighter generation, rose up in the 60s. And all hell broke loose in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. I'm quite sure y'all all know that, right? So now, let's get into what's going on here. What is the 120 styles of martial arts? You see what I'm saying? Let's find out here. Let's find out. Let's see here. Let's see. The 120 is intended to break down your style, simplify it, and present it for what it really is, piece by piece. Then build it back to your level of achievement. The 120 is a clear blueprint to see a particular move or technique to be studied separately. You see what I'm saying? So this is what they're dealing with here, because every man is his own style. You see what I'm saying? That's what they put here. Every man is his own style. And they tell you right here, the FOA to enhance a person's training and 120 books of knowledge. So they base the 120 styles off the Supreme 120. This is all science. What do they call the system? The 120 system is a synthesis based on the student enrollment, which is the 10 style steps, which is the first 1 to 10. Then the English C lesson in boxing, which is your boxing training. You learn how to box with your hands. Those are lessons 1 to 36. Then the Lost and Found secret 14 blocks of Shabazz, which were 1 to 14, lessons 1 to 14, and finally, and the Lost and Found art to kicking, which is lessons 1 to 40, and finally the 1 to 20 add-on, which are weapons. You see what I'm saying? The weapons. When you add this up, you have a complete system of 120 styles, which is simple mathematics. You see what I'm saying? So they letting you know what it is. You see what I'm saying? They letting you know what this is about. So definitely know that the Supreme 120 styles is an advanced style of black God and goddess defense. Believe that. Now, let's see what else we have here. What is the 52 blocks? It is our own black God and goddess family style, which was created based on our modern day black God characteristics and genetic makeup. It is also known as the twine style of boxing. Black God boxing, also known as black God boxing. You see what I'm saying? Black God boxing. You see what I'm saying? Or jailhouse rock, you know, or come stop over here, go by many names. Now let's go. Let's see what they say about this. Let's see what they say about this. Page 161. Page 161. I wish the images was bigger, but there's him using the different styles, different techniques in the 52 blocks. Now, what is 52 blocks? The secret, the ultimate secret is the 52 blocks is the original martial art of the universe. How do we know that? The first shall be last and last shall be first. The first martial art of the universe was the last to manifest fully into the mainstream. Of course, it's been around since forever. You see what I'm saying? But we can start as early as the Virginia Scruffing. You see what I'm saying? The Virginia Scruffers. You see what I'm saying? They called it Scruffing. That's what the Virginia Freedom Fighters called it. On down. We can go back as far back as Montour and as early as what we was dealing with over here, the Virginia Freedom Fighters martial style known as Scruffing. You see what I'm saying? Also, shucking and trucking is many different names. You see what I'm saying? Many different styles. These cool, hip names was actually code names for this particular martial art, which is the original martial art of the universe. You see what I'm saying? It's an unlimited martial art. He was like, Mr. Kashan, he was like, you know, I was trying to find all the styles for the martial art to put it together. He said, I realized there isn't no limitations to this martial art. You can be as advanced or as laid back. Okay. There we go. Alright, my bad, y'all. We can be as advanced or laid back with the style as you want to. You see what I'm saying? You can apply what you want, or you can take it to the max. You see what I'm saying? Take it to the limit. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. So definitely here, y'all. Let me see here. Go to the pages I wrote down. What did he say? He said, one of the forms or styles of the FOA that the black people have developed is a twining, which means to weave or put together, called 52 blocks of jailhouse / state boxing. In fact, various names have become adopted. Okay. Yeah, I'm using my other phone, y'all, so the vibrations from, messages, I guess it's making it, that's what's causing it to slide there. So yeah. As spoken countless times, the black man has been fighting since the beginning of time. He's a natural born fighter. Many people have asked questions about this American-made art form. Yes, it's American-made art form. It was made right here on these lands. Jailhouse boxing, or formerly called the 52 blocks. Many claim this art originated in the Orient or has its roots in Africa, although they both played some part in its development. To clear up any misconceptions, the author has put together a prehistory gathered from the stories of its formulation. You see what I'm saying? So then he goes on, you know. Let's see. And he goes on. Let's see. Page 52. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this page. I'm gonna skip this page. So next, out of the 52 blocks, then we ask ourselves, who are 5% nation? They are a freestyle offshoot of the Nation of Islam. You see what I'm saying? Who started the 5% nation? Class 13X, Father Allah, of course. Why is martial arts important? To quote Coach Cool, who was also a 52 block practitioner, every man should have hands, because your true weapons are your body, mind, spirit, and soul. Everything else is just bonus content. Right. So everything else is just bonus content, y'all. Your true martial arts, you see what I'm saying, comes from your body, comes from within. You see what I'm saying? Comes from within you. So definitely. Then everything else that you learn, you know, weapons, guns, all that, is bonus content. See what I'm saying? How did the 120 martial styles come about? Page 34. Here we go. In 1976, I like this little quote, so I'm gonna read it to y'all. The rebirth of the FOA in the building of a black guy style. The FOA is in harmony with nature and is older than the sun, the moon, and the stars. Therefore, no one can claim its creation or styles with the exception of God. You see what I'm saying? So in 1976, the author and a few young FOA guys went to a Catholic priest, Father Powell, asking for his permission to use his church basement as a place of practice. He consented, and the 120 styles began to formulate. By 1979, through Allah's supreme mathematics, all things became clear pertaining to the martial arts, and the black guys were able to unite the styles together into a conglomeration of 120 styles. Also, it was the FOA's objective to teach their people the true history of the martial arts, its origin and how it first started with the original people, which is the elder black man, woman, and child. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And remember, all styles are correlated. So, like all truths, this has to be tested and proven. In effect, the following year, a group of brothers, FOA guys, came together with the styles they knew, and they exchanged ideas and techniques, and examined it with the 120, the teaching of the black guys and martial arts together. They took it upon themselves to be like unto scientists in the lab, dojo. Like I just told you, the wilderness is a lab. You see what I'm saying? Dojo. Testing and building with different moves, techniques, and styles. They labored mathematically from 1 of 10 and then back again. The FOA guys did not miss a thing. They also challenged all comers to the cipher. A cipher is an assembly of people, a group of people getting together to do a thing. That's what a cipher is. That's more of a hip hop term. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, an old soul term. So absorbing their foreign styles so that they could add on to the martial arts way and build a complete FOA with the 120 system. The FOA guys' approach to training was realistic and used what is called the old school methods, which is based on the fact that everything is real. A catchphrase used by the black guys to describe the serious nature of a thing. These FOA guys or warriors of the same interest have trained successfully with many of the elder brothers and karate masters from the community spoken of earlier. After finding their research to be right and exact, they accepted it as their own and became experts in their own right. Tradition states that a founder or creator of a style or system cannot be judged nor ranked according to another outside system or style only admired and honored with, which is respect. Then it says here, the FOA guys train and practice with everything they brought to the table, from karate to kung fu, from jiu-jitsu to the 52 building blocks known as jailhouse rock / stato boxing. But the black guys called it the father's twine on self-defense. The brothers fashioned and gave credit to the Father Allah, Clarence 13X, for everything. All praise due to Allah. You see what I'm saying? And their own inner souls. You see what I'm saying? Brothers who trained in the 120 of FOA were open-minded. Therefore, they took out the traditions that are usually taught in most schools, dojos, and allowed techniques to be mastered. And then they would flow on to the next technique without the bias, anarchy of martial arts politics, or martial politics, which is usually some bullshit like any politics involved. Within a few years, brothers had manipulated many techniques from different styles and became masters at their own aptitude. A master means he who is great and is a person who has the ability to show and prove at any place, any time, to anybody without a shadow of a doubt their knowledge of a skill and is able in no limit of time to express it unconditionally. That's what a master is. Someone with great comprehension of a thing. See what I'm saying? For example, in the 1 to 10 called 10-step style, which is footwork, stance, and posture, they combine it with the 136 striking called English C lessons in boxing, which is 36 various hand strikes or techniques equaling 360 techniques, or 10 by 36, which equals 360. And added that with kicking techniques from the 140 entourage, which are 40 different kinds of kicks. On the other hand, they became proficient in the 10 style step, followed by the use of the 114, which are 14 body parts used to block, attack pressure points, or practice as a self-defense. Others have also added all of the above with the use of weapons, called 20 actual / and solar add-ons, depending on how they favor their training. Thus, creating moves, combining, twining techniques selected from the 120 arsenals in all styles are correlated, like I said. The signs of FOA and the 120 styles are broken down mathematically, separately in a number, and then built back up easier through the lessons training that the person is receiving. Seeing or practicing one move at a time, a year for every mile, a year to every style, as they were said. Or the techniques for what they really are, instead of a classical mess, as the late great master and messenger of martial arts Bruce Lee called it. The Father Allah said, I see things clearly for what they are, as opposed to what they may appear to be. And that's where 120 come from and how it was created. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to know more, get you a copy and get it in. So yeah. Now, where are we here? Where are we? The FOA book, page 16 and 17. Yeah. And let's tell you how the FOA got started. Now, let's tell you how the FOA got started. Let's see. On October 10th of 1964, some of the so-called blood brothers, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. The Father Allah could not have came at a better time, late 1964. The fatherless children in the community were looking for a role model who could take command of the situation on the streets. One who knew the knowledge of, as to say, Malcolm X and the martial arts, that was instructed by the elders in the neighborhood. When the students are ready, the teacher will appear. This was Clarence 13X, whom they called the Father Allah. On October 10th of 1964, some of the so-called blood brothers became the sons of Almighty God, Allah, in the martial arts training they received from the abrogated FOI brothers, Fruits of Islam, from the Nation of Islam. They continued to receive from the Father Allah, and it was called the FOA. You see what I'm saying? Fighters of Allah. Through the study of their 120 lessons and knowing where they stood in the general population of knowledge, the brothers who called themselves the sons of Almighty God, Allah, became the 5%, 5%ers. The Father Allah said, "These are my sons, the